Paul, what are your thoughts on what you've seen from your side tonight?
A difficult game to assess overall because I thought we started well, then we gave a poor goal away. Then they seemed to gain a bit of confidence. We seemed to go the other way for a little while, and they're sending off. In the end, I think it was an example of persistence, trying to be relentless, and it became a very sort of one-sided game in terms of attacking one goal. Certainly, I thought they defended well at times, probably rode the luck at times. We should have done a little bit better on occasions as well, but got to 2-2. Thought we'd potentially won it, albeit I think we realised the flag had gone up quite quickly, and then to lose on penalties, that's still disappointing. No issue. I thought the keeper made 2 decent saves, so no issues with the players that missed. At least they wanted to take the penalties, but just would have liked to have won it. Like I said, I went through different thoughts within the game at different points because of how it sort of changed numerically. And again, the goal that we gave away, initially I was interested because I thought we'd started really well, looked a little bit too sort of strong for them, but then once they scored, it seemed to really give them confidence. And again, you're trying to then figure out, is that them lifting their game? Because we know they're going to be comfortable on the ball, but at the same time there were a few bits from us where you have to be brighter in his understanding of trying to make it more difficult for them. They clearly had a lot of good players, but a couple, I think, particularly outstanding players that the way that they move is, they're like Rolls Royces, so to speak. But thought we could have done better. Second half, the longer it goes, like I said, I think we sort of almost bullied them into submission. But they hung on and got it to penalties.
Just looking at a couple of players individually, you've had Akeel out there for the full game, playing probably more minutes than he has combined across his time with us so far.
Yeah.
First goal for him as well. What do you make of his night?
I thought he struggled a little in terms of just a little bit of an understanding at times in terms of without the ball, and that might sound silly to some people, as in as a centre forward and wanting to score, but there has to be different parts of the game that you bring still when you're part of a team. In terms of going forward, he obviously won the penalty. Got the lad sent off when he was going through after some good play and threatened him behind a couple of times. He got a goal, and that will do his confidence good. But at the same time, I think you could tell that he was fatigued, and that's not an issue, as in I expected that, but it's just the minutes will do him good, because fundamentally that's where we've been at. We know that if he starts, I think if that's a league game, he would have to have come off, and at the minute we've got the sort of 2 centre forwards, so we've had bits, I think, where we've ended up with Danny and Akeel on at the same time. But if it's like for like, I think certainly Danny's the one that really's got to start at this stage. But that's a step forward for Akeel, and to grab or get his name on the score sheet is good for him.
And finally, Jamie Andrews made his debut. He's had 1 session with you.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on his performance, and what you've seen bringing to your group?
I think someone that's comfortable on the ball, someone that's got good set play delivery, and can nick a goal. I think he can play in a couple of different positions in terms of that midfield, depending how we want to set up, or if he wanted to change within a game if he's out there, which it was important to me bringing that player in. So it gives us a bit of flexibility on that side of how I want that midfield to look, and that might change game to game because it's not a major change, it's a subtler change that we might make at times. I think tonight he did pretty well. Again, I think it was interesting yesterday, for us a light session and in a very tight area, but he talked about, after I had a chat with him, and said how he thought it was really intense, and I've kind of explained that a lot of the players that we bring in maybe take a little bit of time to get up to speed, or certainly get used to training. Don't think he was, he wasn't moaning about it. I think he seemed as though he really enjoyed it, but naturally it'll take him a little bit of time to really get up to speed and used to his training. So I'm sure that'll come. Left-footed again, although he played on the right, that's something he can do as well, either left or right in terms of positionally. So I'm sure it'll only get better for us.